Let me take you back to Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. There's been a lot of speculation that Albert, in fact, was somehow involved in the entire history of Jack the Ripper. I know you're well acquainted with this or not, because the suggestion has been, for example, that Albert had married a woman who was a commoner, that there were like 5 witnesses to the marriage, and that the surgeon attendant to the Queen was issued the responsibility of destroying all of them, whereas the woman he married was incarcerated in an insane asylum. Does any of this ring any bells for you?
Yeah, Prince Albert, who was married in a bigamous marriage to Queen Victoria, he died on the 14th of December, 1861. And the way he died is he caught a bit of a cold. So his doctors put him in a bed in Windsor Castle, chained him to the bed, and left the windows open so that the winter winds came in, and he got pneumonia and died in the Blue Room at Windsor Castle.
The Blue Room?
Yeah.
Well named.
Yeah, now, his official son was Bertie, Prince of Wales, who became King Edward VII. And his official firstborn son was Prince Eddy, who was involved in the Jack the Ripper murders. And his official second-born son became King George V, who reigned from 1910 to 1936. George V was actually the illegitimate son. George V of England was actually the illegitimate son of Tsar Alexander III of Russia. And I've just done the ship manifests and escort vessel manifests at the time of the conception of George, who became King George V. And his purported father, King Edward VII, was in another country 9 days sailing away at the time of conception and 21 days either side of that conception. And the person who was there was Tsarevich Sasha Alexander, who was the younger brother of Grand Duke Nicholas II of Russia. And what happened was Tsarevich Sasha Alexander conceived a child with Alexandra, Princess of Wales, of England, and then murdered his older brother, Grand Duke Nicholas II, and became first in line to the Russian throne. And George V of England was conceived in a black moon month, where there are 2 no moons or 2 new moons in the same month. And they're quite rare. And the Russians and Scandinavians and Danish and Wiccans really value a monarch that is conceived in a black moon month with 2 new moons in the same month. So it was the Danish and Russians who were behind the Jack the Ripper murders to remove first in line Prince Eddy, because they wanted the second in line, second born, to become the king, and became King George V. And Prince Eddy's death was faked on the 14th of January 1892, and he was moved to Glamis Castle in Scotland, where he had the world's longest bed and breakfast, which was over 33 years, from 1892 to 1933 plus. And he was photographed in Glamis Castle by a female relative.